Tataru? Yes, General Reborn is now in safe hands. What? Another assault? Very well, we shall return at once. Pray notify the Count of our coming. It would seem we face another crisis. The Dravanians are preparing to resume their siege of the Holy See. Though I am loath to abandon the Sultana to her fate, we lack the necessary evidence to act upon Dulala's claims. That being the case, I propose we leave Marshal Terrapin and the others to investigate, and return with all haste to Ishgard. With all haste it is, then. Ah, there you are. Sorry for cutting your reunion with General Reborn short. I wouldn't have bothered you, but the city's awash with rumors of another Dravanian attack, and Lord Orchefant was desperate to get a hold of you. Speaking of whom, he and the others are waiting for you inside. My friend, I thank you for answering our calls with such alacrity. Alacrity? Alacrity. As I'm sure you are now aware, the Dravanians are once more gathering for war. Master Cenctquic-novem, Master Leviathan, I must apologize for this abrupt summons, but we thought best to have Mistress Tataru contact you by the most direct means available. When the Observatorium's bell tolls, 'tis a warning that cannot be ignored. The Holy See has ordered that we all make ready for battle. In case you haven't heard, the band of trappers returning from the west claim they saw a cloud of dragons big enough to dim the midday sky. Nidhogg's minions gather once more for war. But I would not have you take up arms in another of our conflicts. When first you came to Ishgard, I offered you my protection. If I cannot ensure your safety here, I cannot well accept your aid, much less ask for it. Scions of the Seventh Dawn, you are faced with a choice, to remain in besieged Ishgard or seek sanctuary elsewhere. I would not presume to influence your decision, but I must ask that you make it swiftly lest our enemies force your hand.
Ishgard cannot well endure another assault. Even should her knights succeed in turning back the Horde, the casualties will be catastrophic.
But what other choice do we have? It's not like we can talk it over with them. Dragons and men aren't exactly on speaking terms.
With certain notable exceptions.
You don't mean Iceheart?
Oh, I thought he was talking about Midgard-Zormr.
When last you spoke with her, she lamented her crimes, did she not? Then there remains a sliver of hope. If we can persuade Iceheart to act as our intermediary, we may yet be able to convince Nidhogg to abandon his bloody course.
If there is to be a meeting, I would accompany you.
Boy, this guy.
Estinien.
Of all the people to overhear.
Even with your intermediary, Nidhogg's blood rage may render him deaf to reason. However, the mere attempt may afford our forces precious time to prepare. Of course, you might also consider a more direct approach to ending this conflict. With the power of the Eye at my disposal, and the vaunted strength of the Warrior of Light, we could conceivably slay the beast outright.
If we are to risk a face-to-face meeting with the Dread Worm, I for one would feel safer in the company of the Azure Dragoon. However, I should only turn to your lance if my words failed to find their mark. Is that clear?
Perfectly. I shall assume that Iceheart enjoys similar diplomatic protection until instructed otherwise. A word of advice. Think carefully before divulging the particulars of this plan to Ser Aymeric. 'Twould not do to have the Lord Commander accused of consorting with heretics.
Indeed. I thank you for your counsel, Estinien. We shall be honored to have you with us.
I am glad to be of service.
We have chosen a difficult road, yet even should we succeed in winning Iceheart to our cause, our plans for parley will swiftly come to naught should the Holy See decide to strike first against the Horde. We must petition the Lord Commander's aid ere we set forth. I only hope that Ser Aymeric will be willing to muzzle Ishgard's forces on the strength of our vague assurances. Tataru, I would ask that you remain at Fortemps Manor and inform the Count of our decision. Tell him that the Scions of the Seventh Dawn mean to do all in their power to ensure that Ishgard and her people survive. Yes, sir. It's funny, I don't think of Estinien looking very generic in this. I think that he's more of the, like, it's kind of like calling the Beatles generic, you know? Like, they're generic because everybody has kind of since then appropriated their styles. That's kind of what I think about Estinien, is that he definitely looks Azure Dragoon. It's just all the other Dragoons start to look a bit Azure as well. Alright, so this means we go to the Forgotten Night, I believe. You would speak with the Lord Commander? Pray make it quick. He looks homeless in Stormblood.
I want the defenses of the outer ward rechecked. See to it that the ballistas are in good repair and supplied with enough ammunition for a prolonged siege.
At once, my lord.
Ah, 'twould seem I have visitors. And unlike those massing beyond our walls, these ones are welcome.
Pray forgive us for interrupting you in the midst of your preparations, Ser Aymeric, but our suit concerns the impending assault. To speak plain, we believe there is a chance the invasion might be halted before it even begins. I can divulge little more at this time, but I must nevertheless request that you advise the Holy See to refrain from launching any preemptive sorties whilst we seek to put our plans in motion.
I will gladly lend my support to any endeavor that could spare the blood of my countrymen, but I would know more of the cause you would have me champion. Will you not share aught of this mysterious undertaking?
Know that I have offered my lance to aid in this endeavor. I cannot claim that its success is assured, but our actions should serve to delay Nidhogg's advance at the very least. Which is more than can be said for the ill-conceived counterattack advocated by the sea's more vocal crusaders. They offer glorious death, but little hope of victory.
Aye, their proposal does not inspire confidence. Our resources should rightly be spent shoring up the city's defenses. The Azure Dragoon and the Warrior of Light sallying forth together to face the dread worm Nidhogg. I must admit the mere thought of it does much to dispel my misgivings. Go then, carry out your plan. I shall do what I can for you within the Holy See.
Such commotion.
Yes, Your Eminence. The bells of the Observatorium warn of our enemy's approach.
So, the dragons are coming. Let them come, in their hundreds and their thousands. With the divine blade in our hands, we shall rend their flesh and drown the heretics in their master's blood. Even Nidhogg and his foul brood shall be powerless to resist us. And when we have rid the world of their pestilence, we shall turn our attention to our Ascian allies. See that they are suitably rewarded for their invaluable assistance.
If I may, Your Eminence, the Paragons wield powers strange and unknowable. Can we be certain that they will not see through our deception?
We can be certain of naught save the righteousness of our cause. If you would be a true leader of men, you must possess conviction as well as caution. We seek to excise the root of an evil that has blighted us for 1,000 years. The risk is worth the reward.
Discretion is the better part of valor,
And what of
Thornton.
Estinien and this warrior of light? They have plans of their own.
Leave them to their purpose. We must each play the role we have been given. You and your chosen brothers most of all.
For the glory of King Thornton.
Oh, before you go, you must put this on, Alphinaud. It's made specially. No, I couldn't possibly... Very well. Much better. By the 12, it fits perfectly. And the quality is actually rather good. I'm glad you like it. I've been practicing my needlework while I listen to rumors and the like. A good receptionist is always learning new skills. My thanks, Tataru. Whatever else awaits me upon the road, I shall not fear the cold. It was the least I could do. Now I must be getting back to the tavern or I'll never catch up with all the gossip. Best of luck on your journey. In the absence of any fresh intelligence on Isayli's movements, I propose we pick up the trail where she was encountered last, the Coerthan Western Highlands. Jumping puzzle champ here. That's a long ways away. Master Cenctquic-novem, our fightings, you say? Well, there's something of a tale there. No sooner had we chanced upon a promising-looking sheaf of letters that we were ambushed from the shadows by great white beasts. It would seem the heretics foresaw our coming and left behind their pets to discourage further investigation. Let us deal with these pets ourselves, Soapy. Hey, you bet. Oh dear, the creature took me by surprise. Forgive me. Till my hand stopped shaking, I figure I shall be more of a hindrance than a help. Yeah, I'd be afraid of bears too if I wasn't. Soapy Cenctquic-novem. I agree, Money. Remake is so dang fun. And on hard, it's even better. I cannot believe how good they made that game. Heard a frightening growling from below. You encountered more of the beast, I take it? Hey, you bet. The beasts are slain, then. My thanks, Master Cenctquic-novem. We may return to our duty without fear of a mauling. You wish to track down Lady Iceheart, is this not so? The records we discovered aired those beasts mauled my comrades appeared to be some manner of correspondence. We had not the luxury of perusing their contents more closely. Intent as we were on surviving an onslaught of fang and claw, but I'd wager those epistles contained more than a friendly salutations betwixt lonely heretics. My interrogations of the patrol proved fruitless. Either we divine some clues from these letters, or we wander in the snowfields and pray the gods lead us right to Iceheart's door. 'Tis hardly a choice at all. An impressive structure. I wonder how many ages it has endured. Mayhap you should ask its occupants. They seem a friendly bunch. Dogs of Ishgard, it's not enough that you'd banish our beloved saint. Will you not be satisfied until the ice is slick with the last drops of our blood? Stay your weapons. We have come under the flag of parley. We wish only to speak with your mistress. Do you think us fools, boy? It takes more than honeyed words to earn our trust. My reputation precedes me. You give us little choice. Come, brothers, may Dragon's Wings bear its victory today. I did it! Sorry if that was loud. They fight like demons. 'Tis death to remain. Yeah, run away. Fall back, brothers. Retreat to the cinders. I see no sign of Lady Iceheart. Would that we could have questioned one of them. What would you have asked if we do not already know? They make for the cinders, and so must we. Even should an ambush await us, 'tis certain there will be more heretics to question. The cinders, you say? I confess the name is unknown to me. Mayhap you would be so good as to enlighten us, Estinien? I suspect it is the heretics' way of referring to the Dreaming Dragon, an island of sorts found in the midst of the frozen lake of Ashpool. Some 500 years past is told that the Azure Dragoon of the age fought a dragon of titanic proportions. After a savage struggle, the mighty creature was weakened under the point of death and forced into a magic slumber by an entire chapter of the Holy Sea's sorcerers. Ere long, a rain of ash and cinders did begin to fall upon the sleeping serpent's motionless form, covering the creature at length into a shroud of grey. Of course, a thick layer of ice has since formed on top of it, but you may be sure I speak true. Fascinating tale. We should make haste to this ashen isle. The beaming dragon lies far to the west. Before we approach the frozen beast, however, there is another place I would visit first. I am told the convictors set up camp in the Twins Pools. Their leader Gentilo may have more information of use to us. But mayhap you are not familiar with that name either. The convictors are dragon slayers, after a fashion, but I am willing to wager that they encounter their fair share of heretics. If we are indeed walking into a trap, I would learn all there is to know of our foe. A sound suggestion. Let us speak with these convictors then, and temper our haste with a measure of caution. Something I can do with, my lord. Heretics, is it? Well, I've never seen one myself, but that ain't to say I haven't heard a thing or two. We'd be grateful for any information you can share with us. If it pleases, my lord, I'm Pierre Ket. Soldier by trade, though not much of one, if I'm honest. If I weren't for the love of stabbing folks that I took up the spear, see? No, it was the order of Sir Janelot's father. Still, as long as they keep paying me wages, I ain't fussed about what they have me do. Not everyone's as patient as me, though. Plenty of low-born lads who get pressed into service start grumbling before they've seen their second battle. And once they got there thinking how unfair it all is, it doesn't take much for the heretics to turn their heads. From what I hear, the simple promise of freedom tends to do it. May explain how Lady Iceheart was able to expand her following so quickly. Sad to say, some mates of mine gobbled down heretics' tripe and asked for seconds. Told me they were off the Western Highlands to light a signal fire. That's how you let the heretics know you're serious about joining their ranks, apparently. Send them up some purple smoke and the bastards come to you. That's so. Why then, I am minded to start a fire. Woohoo! Alright, well let's take care of some business around here. Up there? How am I supposed to get up there? I can't even fly. If we lure our foes into our position, we might find a means of producing a signal of purple hue. As it so happens, I once heard a tale of a trapper who dropped the hide of a woolly yak onto his campfire. The story also described in detail how the smoke from the smothered flames was tinged a deep violet. Well, sounds like we're gonna go get one of those.
Ah, I should have known it would be you. word reached me of a struggle with a small but well-armed band of trespassers. Forgive my comrades their hostility. Few come here uninvited, and fewer still with good intent. Now, tell me why you are here.
We wish to stop Nidhogg's attack on Ishgard.
So, you seek to stem the Dravanian tide with talk? A romantic notion. If you but knew the truth, the spark which lit the flames of this animosity, you would understand the futility of your quest. Shall I relate it to you? The sordid history my gift has shown me. That which the Holy See has taken such pains to suppress. 'Twas more than a millennium past when an Elezen tribe first sought to claim the lands of Coerthas as its home. Unfortunately for them, Coerthas was already home to dragonkind, and they were not inclined to make way for the invaders. Thus did a bloody war begin. A war which might well have rumbled on until one or the other side was exterminated, had it not been for the resolve of a single woman. That woman's name was Shiva. While those around her fought and died, she attempted to parley with the dragons, and in so doing discovered them to be possessed of profound intelligence and reason. The great worm, Hraesvelgar, in particular so enchanted Shiva that she found herself growing to love the creature, whom her people considered a monster. In the eyes of a near-immortal dragon, however, the fleeting life of an Elezen is as that of a freshly cut rose. Scarce has the flower bloomed before it begins to fade and wither. Such melancholy musings plagued Hraesvelgar, who had found in Shiva an unexpected and beloved soulmate. He knew that all too soon, death would snatch her away from him. Unable to bear the thought of their separation, the maid bid the worm consume her, that their spirits might be entwined for eternity. Though loath to perform the deed, Hraesvelgar ultimately gave in to her plea, and soon thereafter the tale of their ill-fated love spread throughout the two warring factions. No more could they raise blade or claw against one another, knowing that the souls of their kin were so inextricably bound. In the days that followed, man and dragon learned to live in harmony, and together built a nation unlike any the world had ever known. For 200 years did this blissful age of peace continue, as it would to this day, had vilest envy not stirred in the hearts of the Elezen. It is said that worms owe their longevity to the boundless reserves of vitality found within their eyes. And 'twas in this belief that a traitorous band of knights deceived their allies of some 2 centuries, and took by force that which they coveted. Nidhogg, he who now stands poised to unleash his wormlings upon Ishgard, was the great dragon who lost an eye to Elezen treachery. And until he prizes it from the hands of the traitor's progeny, no amount of conciliatory words will stay his fury.
You are wrong, Lady Iceheart. Lest you misunderstand, I do not doubt your vision of the past. 'Tis true that Nidhogg greatly desired to reclaim the Eye. Indeed, it was for that very reason that I kept it with me as I roamed the land, attempting to draw him away from the city.
Good gods!
You keep that motherfucking thing on you?
Until recently, Nidhogg seemed unable to resist its allure and pursued me relentlessly. Needless to say, that is no longer the case. Now, it would seem, he has fixed his attention on Ishgard itself, though he knows full well the eye does not reside there.
You believe he targets the capital for another reason?
I believe reason has all but left him. Through the eye, I feel much of what Nidhogg feels, and the dragon's thirst for vengeance will not be quenched by aught less than a sea of blood.
If Nidhogg is indeed lost to reason, might we not seek an audience with Hraesvelgr instead? He has thus far shown no inclination to aid in the invasion of Ishgard, and may yet welcome our efforts to broker a peace.
You still believe that a peaceable solution can be found? Very well. I will take you to him. Our road will lead us to Dravania, the homeland of dragonkind. There we shall ascend unto the clouds, where Hraesvelgr resides.
Iceheart unlocked the ice in my heart, while Estinian fills with his eye the heart of Nidhogg. Iceheart.
Is autumn mist, my friend? I sense the many battles are beginning to take their toll. Rest a while, and should you lose sight of us, Dravania lies beyond the mountains to the west.
Curious. The vestiges of thy mistress's blessing are not as faint as once they were. Thy will to succeed grants thee unusual fortitude. But will it be enough?
You tell me. Well, you know what I think? We were told to rest, and I think we should. Good place as any to leave off a stream, I think. Alright. So, we got the whole band together. Stupid people. Okay, that's just my opinion. But anyway. Yeah, that was pretty much where I wanted to get to today. I imagine I will go off stream still, do some, you know, minor annoyances, get them out of the way. Finish up some quests that I need for ether currents, things like that. Maybe level up a little bit more, just to continue to give myself that padding. But anyway, I think it's a good place to end. What is tomorrow? Is tomorrow Friday? Tomorrow's Thursday. I may stream tomorrow. We'll see about it. But until next time, I will see y'all. Bye-bye.